government's had an about-face on financial advice. The cost of that financial advice went up significantly after changes made years ago that were all about protecting consumers. The problem was it made the price of advice very expensive because the protections around it and the information that had to be gathered. The government is now saying more bespoke advice will be available and you'll be able to claim it through things such as whoever provides your life insurance. This is the Financial Services Minister, Stephen Jones, talking about the reforms.
I'm announcing the government will modernise the best interest duty. This will require advisors to continue to focus on what is best for their clients. It will maintain the requirement for advisors to give priority to their clients' interest where there may be a conflict. And it will retain the necessity for advice to be appropriate and fit for purpose. However, the safe harbour steps will be removed, and I note that this is the implementation of Recommendation 2.3 of the Hayne Royal Commission.
Joining me live now is Council of Australian Life Insurers CEO Christine Cupitt. Thanks for your time. Look, if we go back many years, not going to bore the viewers too much, but the overhaul of this after some scams around financial advice from banks actually meant financial advice went up. You had to get massive amounts of information from someone. $3,500 the average price. What sort of entry price now could people get financial advice, for example, through their life insurance?
Well, today's announcement is wonderful for Australians. We know that Australians have been crying out for better access to more financial advice, and today's announcement means that more people will have access to the information they need to make informed financial decisions. What this means for the cost of advice is multifactored, but overall, today's announcement is about getting more simple advice to more Australians in a cost-effective way.
So if someone's gone along before, after the changes, if you said, oh, I just want a bit of advice on what to do with this lump sum from work or whatever it might be, but you'd have to get a full assessment. What's your risk profile? Dozens and dozens of pages. It costs the company a lot to do. It costs you a lot. Now this could be what, a lot more bespoke. You might just want to know what to do with an inheritance. Simpler advice and cheaper advice.
Yeah.
That's what's going to be able to be offered.
Every day, life insurers have people calling into their call centres with simple questions about their life insurance needs. Things like a change of circumstance. I'm having a baby. I've just got married. What does this mean for my life insurance? People want simple answers to those kinds of questions. And as you say, without necessarily needing or wanting a full financial plan. Today's announcement means that life insurers will be able to give their customers more simple answers to those everyday kinds of inquiries that Australians deserve access to answers on.
Yeah, and so that might be as simple as saying, look, my financial situation has improved, i.e. the lump sum I spoke about. Should I pare back my life insurance? Now, there's never one answer to that. It's obviously just advice. How do we make sure consumers are still protected and they're not, say, overpaying? Because a life insurance company theoretically would say, get the highest policy possible, get an expensive one.
Yeah. Well, you've hit the nail on the head in that everybody's needs are different and everybody's experience of financial advice will be different. Advice from the life insurer means that Australians can turn to a provider that they trust and they have an existing relationship with, and they're able to get that specific advice about their specific inquiry in a timely and cost-effective way.
Any idea what it might cost? So as I said, the average cost of financial advice had ballooned to about $3,500. If they're just having an inquiry about where they should set their life insurance, do you have a ballpark on what that might be costing down the track?
Well, the legislation that sits around this is wrapped up with some very clear consumer protections, and one of those is the way that advice like this will be paid for.
It's tiered basically in terms of cost, or how does that?
So it puts restrictions around paying the people providing the advice in a way that gives them the wrong incentives. So this framework is about how we support our customers, how we get advice and simple answers to them within a legislated framework which provides all the right incentives to deliver better customer outcomes.
But can you give us a ballpark on the cost? I mean, you could call up, have a few simple questions, get a response, someone does an hour or two of work and it might cost a couple of $100. Could it be as cheap as that?
It could be as cheap as that,
Okay.
yes.
All right, Christine Cupitt, appreciate your time today. Thank you.